Well, I'm just leaving Cleef. Went up and tagged the border day before yesterday, and finally the rain stopped. It rained most of the day, all day yesterday, off and on, and then it was raining pretty hard at 3 a.m. But woke up and it was clear today, so the adventure begins. Yeah, this campground was so full last night, but pretty fun to meet the other hikers and looking forward to the adventure. So anyway, I'm gonna film the trail right here. So let's see how it looks the first few steps. I better take a shot looking back. That's the Cleef campground, and the monument's up that way. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. Yeah, you can see the border fence up there. That's pretty cool. My pack weighed in at about 28 pounds with 2.5 days food, and I just started out with a little less than 2 liters of water, because after all that rain, water's going to be kind of plentiful, I think. I'm pretty sure I can find water within 4 or 5 miles. So all those years of looking at YouTube videos and thinking to myself, I'm going to do that someday. Well, today is someday. All right, let me just put this away so I can start daydreaming. Okay, I think I'm coming up on one of the very first major landmarks, major milestones on the trail. Yeah, let's see. I don't want to fall down. So, rounding the corner, and there it is. Cool rock. pretty sure it's a rule that you have to stop and film this sign.
Party. Oh, yay! 3 miles!
Yeah, man.
That's funny.
Clear at the top of that mountain over there, looks like this might be one of our last glimpses of Mexico. Look at that. This is interesting. I don't know who's going to need help right at this particular point, but they got something here to help you.
That's super cool.
Well, waking up this morning at Hauser Creek at mile 15 point something, and it's 32 degrees, a little brisk this morning, 32.5 degrees. And I'm up kind of fairly early, the sun's not quite out yet, and I got a lot of condensation in my tent last night, and the top of my sleeping bag got a little bit wet, so I'm drying it out. Let me flip this around. I'll show you my campsite. Well, there's my sleeping bag drying out a little bit, and then that's my campsite. I've got a couple neighbors, one here, and if you can see one down there a ways. Yeah. And over here is where I think I'll probably dig a cat hole. Anyway, today starts out with a big climb, but it's only about 5 miles to Lake Morena, and there's a good campground there, and then there's the malt shop to go get a burger or pizza or whatever, and whatever else I need, a little bit of resupply, and everybody's looking forward to that burger and a Dr. Pepper, or everyone else says a burger and a beer, but the beer doesn't sound too good to me. But anyway, I'm gonna go wipe the condensate out of the tent and get my stuff packed away and get ready to head out for the day. Yeah, it's fun to be out here. It's just a shot of Hauser Creek. Just a little stream, but the water was really good. I filtered some water, and very nice. I expected more camp spots around here. There's a few, but I got a pretty good one. I'm going to show you one more thing. Right along this log here, it would be so easy to brush up against that and get into it, like going back to that spot, but poison oak. There's some more right there. I hope I can notice that in the future. I sure wouldn't want to get into any of it. So this climb out of Hauser Creek is no joke. I'm at about mile 16. I've climbed about 350 feet of, it'll be 1,100 feet when I get to the top. But yeah, test your mettle. I just hike along, and if I feel like stopping, I'll stop and take, even just for 5 good, strong, deep breaths, and then soldier on. So I'm feeling pretty good and doing okay with it, but it's not easy. It's not easy. This is kind of cool. I guess that's the yucca. Across the way there is that help button that I showed you. I don't know if I can zoom in that far or not. Oh, there it is. That's quite a ways over there, clear down to Hauser Creek and back up this far. I still got a ways to go to get to Lake Morena. I made a quick stop, rest break, and look at this cool manzanita tree. These trees are so cool. And they look like the bark's all been peeled off, and that's just the wood underneath, but that is bark. Very, very interesting tree. Hey, I worked pretty hard for this view, so I thought I'd better film it. Sorry for the wind noise. Lake Morena. Now I got a big downhill. Downhill is not that easy. Big downhill, and then later I'm gonna hit the malt shop for a burger and a chocolate shake. What we have here is the famous Lake Morena malt shop. Man, look at how many tents there are in this, set up in this place. And there's 4 or 5. There's a few more. That one on the end's mine. After all that open area, coming into a little wooded area here. It's kind of nice. Nice to reach some shade. It's not all barren desert. And we got a full house at this Boulder Oaks campground. The sites along the trail, you're just lucky to find 1 or 2 spots to camp. But it's kind of fun when you get everybody together at a campground. It's about 6:30 a.m. and everyone's just starting to stir a little bit. I better stop and get a shot of the view from this pretty spot on the trail. So I gotta film this unexploded military ordnance in this area. Apparently a military aircraft crashed here years back, and you know, I would have thought that a military aircraft, there'd be an inventory of what's on it, and they wouldn't leave until they found all the unexploded ordnance. But I guess they just decided to leave and put up a sign. But anyway, I guess I won't be running around out there because might get blown up. So I came from there on the PCT. I'm about 5 miles away from Mount Laguna, and I was pretty tired. I did over 10 miles and over 2,000 feet elevation gain. There were a couple tent spots earlier I would have taken, but they were so exposed to the sun, and it was hot at the time. But I found this spot was a good one underneath this huge, I guess that's an oak tree, I don't know. Anyway, I'm packing things up, and I don't know whether to cook breakfast or just to eat a bar now, but Mount Laguna I'm going to eat, and I'm considering if they have a place to stay, I might get a bed for tonight. I'd like to do some laundry. I'm getting kind of ripe, but anyway, let me turn this around. Anyway, I was feeling pretty hammered at the end of the day, but you know, if you break in the afternoon by 3 or something early on, gives you the rest of the afternoon and then all night to kind of recover from the hard day. So I'm actually feeling pretty good now. I thought I would have hiker hobble really bad this morning, but I'm feeling okay. So that Mount Laguna is kind of a not real hiker friendly, well, at least for camping, because within that Mount Laguna recreation area or whatever, there's tent sites, but they don't let you camp in them, and you have to go. I don't know if I could put on enough miles to go get a tent site outside of town today, but so I'm gonna maybe try to stay there. I don't know, get a hostel or a cabin or see what's available. Anyway, I'm having a good time. This is quite an adventure. I'm meeting a lot of people. Oh, someone gave me a trail name. My trail name is Sawyer. And how I got that is that my first time going to filter some water, my Sawyer filter, not a drop would come through it. And I've always been really good with my filter to like back flush every time I filter water and stuff. And I'd only used it like 3 or 4 times on the Colorado Trail, but it wouldn't work. And I got up to another place and where there was water, and asked this couple that was there if I could borrow their filter, and told them what happened, and they said sure. I've got this little blue thing where you can hook your water bag right to your bottle, and he says, oh, we should get one of those. And I said, oh, here, you can have this one. And I gave him that. Filtered water, and then I went back to him. I said, hey, you guys are hiking together, right? Yeah. Do you each have your own filter? He says, yeah. How about selling me one? I'd be happy to pay you, full price or more for one, so save me from having to try to find one in the next town. He says, oh. And the girl says, oh, mine's pretty old. I'll just give it to you. So anyway, she gave me the filter. It works good. And anyway, the guy that was there says, your trail name should be Sawyer. So anyway, I took it. Trail name Sawyer. Anyway, off to meet the day. I'll talk to you later. So I'm getting close. I just came from that way. Getting pretty close, a mile or so from Mount Laguna, and things have changed. There's some pine trees. It smells good. Enough of that desert. Yeah, and a pretty place to hike. Would you look at that? Not quite to Mount Laguna, and There's still snow on the ground. How about that? After my stay at Mount Laguna last night and having a couple meals there and a shower and everything else, I just made my way back to the trail. Look at that view out over that valley. Wow. Anyway, here goes the day, back at it. Let's stop in and take in the scenery. This is my view about, I guess I'm about 4 miles out of Mount Laguna. Pretty valley. One of my fellow hikers pointed me towards this lookout here and said it's worth the trip. It's just a few paces off the trail, but let me show you this. This is pretty wild. You know, I've seen this before in people's YouTube videos, and I mean, yeah, it looks cool, but I'm sure in person is way cooler than this video is going to be. But man, I've been doing pretty good on this hike so far. I mean, I'm handling the climbs. Haven't been putting in big miles, but on purpose. I want to go low miles till I can slowly strengthen myself. But so on the uphills, I don't look at up at the top of the hill. I just look at my next step, and so, you know, foot placement and whatever, and by the, you know, and before I know it, I'm at the top. The hard thing, in my opinion, is are the downhills that are like very rocky like this, and you just have to be so conscious of your foot placement. You don't want to trip. You don't want to just, you know, twist an ankle or anything. So anyway, these downhills, I'm grateful that I have my trekking poles to help me descend these hills. Here we are at a milestone, 50 miles. Okay, I've already got water, so I don't need any of this, but not looking real good. Just a shot of my campsite just off the trail. Wow, what a night. That wind buffeted this tent so hard that it had a rock on one of the guy lines, the corner guy lines, to hold it in place, and I guess it was buffeting it so much and so hard that it wore it rubbed against the against the rock, and it broke the guy line. And so this tent sets up with 2 trekking poles, and one of the trekking poles kind of collapsed and the other one still stood up. So anyway, I was in here sleeping with the top of the tent clear down by me, and I tried to get up and see what was wrong, but the wind was howling, and I just didn't know how to fix it at the time, so I just got back in, and then about 4 this morning, I kind of had the idea that I thought I could fix it. I'd remove another guy line that I don't use too often and put it there. And so I set it back up again, or I fixed that, and put the trekking pole back in, and so it's you know, so at least it's up. But my sleeping bag's wet. Fortunately, I put all my clothes that I wanted to wear today, I put them in a dry bag because I suspected that there might be some condensate again tonight. But anyway, wow, I mean, that wind was battering this tent. It felt like nature was almost intentionally hated this tent and wanted to blow it down, because it wasn't just a steady wind, it was just a swirling, slapping, you know, hitting wind. It was just so wild. I can't even describe how wild it was. But anyway, yeah, it's only about 11 or 12 miles to Julian. But, yeah, I just had such a not restful night. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit that today or not. This last mile into Julian, mile plus a little bit, is really deserty. Lots of cactus, and it's finally a pretty flat stretch. I think I'm going to get to Scissors Crossing, where I'm going to try to hitch into Julian. I'll get there in about, I don't know, half an hour. Anyway, still at it. Julian is mile 77. I've never hiked 77 miles before. I got knocked off my two other hikes, and on the Colorado Trail I got 57. So every day's a new record. Anyway, back to hiking. Got to call and see if I can get a room in Julian. Okay, way out in the distance, there's that underpass. That is where I started today, and now I'm clear up there. So down there's the underpasses. So the trail followed the road where that car's going a little ways, then cross, and there's like switchbacks up through these mountains for a while. But man, I can't believe I've climbed that far in a couple hours. Let me see if I can zoom. Let's see that. Just on the far right side of where that road curves around, there's an underpass, and that's where I started today. But look at this view down here. Climbed a long way from that desert floor down there. Wow. It's quite a walk to get here off the trail. Quite a ways down a hill and rocky, but they've put together a pretty nice water cache here. They got a lot of water here. Well, that is a small cave.
It is.
I guess if there were a huge storm, you might be able to crawl in there.
Yeah, throw your bag in there. I'd go in there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the water all rushes in. I don't know.
Yeah. Most of it ran away, though.
That's true.
Well, it looks like I just made it to another milestone. Let me flip this around and I'll show you. Mile 100. I hiked 100 miles. Wow. New record for me. Yeah. Who'd have thought you could hike 100 miles? Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. So yesterday, after reaching Barrel Springs, I called the number for this Ranchita Bodega little store, and they have some little rooms available and a shower and laundry, and so they came and picked me up. Now let me turn this around. I'll show you how it looks. Yeah, just this little store. They actually had a reggae concert. I should have filmed it, but they had a reggae concert over there last night, and it's a nice little store. They got everything for hiker resupply. They didn't have any like hot food. You couldn't order a burger or anything like that, but still it was nice. And then a pleasant place for hikers, and they're very hiker friendly. And then I got a room in that blue building right there with the yellow door. There's some rooms in there and a communal area with a kitchen and a couple bathrooms with hot showers. Let me show you my room. Looks like we got some people here. I got just a little room here. I'm packing up and getting ready to head out to meet the day. But yeah, that was a worthwhile stop. I got to sleep in a bed, and every time I get to sleep in a bed, I feel like I just recover better. So anyway, packing up the pack and getting ready to go. We just hiked a beautiful section of the trail, and we got to cross this cool meadow. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Very different than what we've been hiking in. Really nice. I've been hiking with this lovely girl from the Czech Republic.
Yes.
And she's going to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Carolina in my language, and I'm from Czech Republic, from South Moravia region. It's really nice to meet you.
And here we go. Crossed another meadow. This thing is huge. Beautiful. I mean, look at way up there. Wow, very nice. This is a sweet section of this trail. So here I am. I'm on this little side trail that leads to the Warner Springs post office, where I have a box. I think a bunch of my food is going to end up going into the hiker box, because I know I'm going to have way too much. I'm carrying plenty of food into this town. I just don't eat that much on trail. And there's a cafe in Warner Springs called Punkers, and supposed to have good burritos. They deliver to the trail, but I wanted to go in to sit down and have a breakfast or lunch there. cold drink. But this other guy says that they're closed today. I hope that's not right, but well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll ask them at the post office. Hopefully I can get a hitch to a place that serves some food. I don't like my hiker food too good, but man, when I get in town and have a great meal, cheeseburger or something, boy, it really tastes good. But you know, this trail, not a bad little trail. It's about a extra mile, 1.2 miles from the PCT into the post office. All right, back at it. Okay, so I just left my stop at Warner Springs, where I went into the post office and picked up my package that I sent to myself. But oh shoot, I hardly needed anything, so I reboxed most of it, took out some things that I wanted, because there was I carried way too much food into this town in the first place. And then anyway, so I boxed up. I got a little bit smaller box than I had before, and I mailed it ahead to Idlewild. And now starting here out of Warner Springs, first thing I'm crossing this huge meadow. And let me zoom a little bit. You can see it goes clear across and way up the other side, a little bit to the right. You can kind of see pieces of the trail, you know, up there. Anyway, it's pretty nice hiking across this meadow. It'd be nicer if a cloud would go in front of the sun, but anyway, here I go. Oh, look, I've got some hiking friends today. They seem to be interested in me a little bit. Yeah, I don't have any food for you. I set up camp kind of early because that climb was so hard. But now I can't really get in my tent until sun goes down a little bit further, so I get some shade on it. It's too hot in there. But quite a view out there.
Oh.
There's no grounding without being barefoot.
That's for the yoga class.
Do you want to join, Ferdinand? Should we wait a sec?
Just go ahead. I'm doing my yoga right now.
Okay.
Oh, these rocks hurt my feet. That's why I always wear
Wow. Oh, you don't like
Impressive, like the difference.
Yeah.
You don't like
You also
the
got some
barefoot.
good blisters going on the back of your heel, bud.
Okay, so we're starting by awakening our body a little bit by just clapping with our right hand, our left arm. Just from top to bottom. And then the other side. Maybe one more time up. And down. I like to keep my eyes closed. I don't know if you do yoga, but add a little nice clap. Maybe even a little bit to your shoulder as well. Just say thank you.
Thank you.
Buddy. And then we go back to our butt. Just clap that a little bit out. And then we go all the way down.
So, how I missed the trail magic yesterday. I'm hiking along the trail, and way down below I see this road with a car set up and there's some chairs around it. I'm thinking, oh, the trail must wind down to the road for that trail magic. And I kept hiking and the trail just never went down there. It turns out you had to like scramble and take a path down there. So I missed it. That was, thing was, it got me motivated. I was hiking strong and whatever, thinking trail magic. Maybe they'll have some watermelon. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, cold Dr. Pepper. But I miss the trail magic. So anyway, I camped, and there was a whole group of young, athletic. You can tell they were really into hiking or whatever. And so I was up earlier than normal. I was up hiking by 6:30 this morning, and man, most of them, all but one, were already gone. Like 7 or 8 of them. So they're in front of me. I don't know if I'll ever see them again. I'm on my way to Mike's place, which is about 7.5 miles from here. I hope I got enough water. Let me stop this, and I'll show you the panorama where I'm at right now. Trail that I wound up. It's been uphill all day, and probably will be most of the day. And that's where I'm headed, up that trail, and it'll switch back up and around and get over this mountain. But I'll zoom a little bit. That is quite a view out over this valley. You almost have a 360 view. So I'm still plodding along this trail. It's starting to go downhill finally. On the way to Mike's place, where he's got a tank where you can refill water. I don't know if he's got like some soft drinks or whatever you can buy or not. I'm not sure. But we're getting down into the land of boulders. The whole valley is covered with these gigantic boulders. That's kind of cool. I mean, look at that mountain in the background. Those aren't little rocks. Those are significant boulders. Wow. My tent spot at Mike's place. I guess that's to help with the wind. Place to sit. Yeah. I hope this is a good. Oh, before I break my tent down, let's see if back there. I picked this good spot. It was sheltered and trees and everything. And oh, it turned out it wasn't the best. We're in a cloud. And the places that are under the trees are wet, and the wide open spot seems to be dry. A bunch of people have been here, and most of them have packed up and left already, so I guess I'm gonna pack up and go. I carried all my stuff over to the building, so I'll pack there. I just have to take down the tent and roll it up. But man, what an adventure! I can't wait to get to Idlewild, which is still probably 2 or 3 days away for me, but whew, what an adventure. So I'm here at Mike's place. Nobody else here right now. There were a few this morning, and it was such terrible weather. I just kind of didn't know what to do. There was a group of guys that they were saying that the 2 water sources that we show up the trail, the one at like 10 point whatever, and another one at like 13, that you couldn't get water there. And I don't think that's necessarily right, but it might be hard to get water. But anyway, they had me. I mean, here's these young guys that are kicking out 20 miles a day, and man, they were loading up with like 6 liters of water, enough to get them clear to the Paradise Valley Cafe, PVC. Anyway, so it had me a little scared. I'm thinking, man, I can't carry enough water to go that far because I'm not that fast. And I thought, man, I'm just gonna come back down here to Mike's and stay one more night. And he doesn't come. Anyway, I'm thinking, well, I'm loading up with water, and I'm gonna trust that I'll be able to get water at one of those first 2 sites, and try to put in more. I'm going to carry a lot of water, so it's going to be hard to do a big day, but I guess I'll have to give it a try. And I really want to get into that Paradise Valley Cafe, but it's going to take me 2 or 3 days. It's 26 miles to get there. There is a there is a hostel about 20, I can't remember, 19 miles away or something, that might have water, but then I might think about. But Mike just delivered a bunch of food, hot dogs, soft drinks, and beer. Picked up everybody's spirits, that's for sure. Good morning. Well, I took a 0 at Mike's place. I slept there last night, and I'm glad I did, because Mike came and he had barbecue chicken and hot dogs, and somebody came earlier with these cans of lemonade and these great big burritos that we had to share. It was nice, but I got lined up on today. It's 10 miles to a real sketchy, not sure it's going to be their water source, and I was real nervous about going. I'm loaded up with water and I'm headed out. But look at this weather. It's like we're in a cloud, and it's weird because the places under the trees are wet and the places that are out in the open are dry. It's like the trees just soak up the moisture and then it blows off of the trees onto the ground. Anyway, but it's going to be quite a day. I feel pretty good. I'm completely loaded with water. I could call it complete. I've got 4.5 liters. So hopefully there's a hostel in 16 miles. I don't know if I can make that in a day, but I think I got enough water that even if I did have to dry camp, I can make it there. But anyway, I'm gonna put this away and put my gloves on and head back out. Catch you later. Oh, look at this. Oh, man. What am I doing out here? I had it pretty easy on Maui. I'm sitting there on the beach or whatever and saying, oh, this is too easy. I gotta do something hard. I don't know if you can hear that. Wow. That is one scary water source right there. Oh boy.
What if you fell in?
That's my view of the valley coming up out of where the Little Bear Hostel is. Man, it's quite a climb. different than the PCT, a lot more rugged, but it's good. I still have a ways to go to get back to the PCT from the hostel. But wow, yeah, that's quite a view. This trail goes around those bushes and then back up on that side. Man, that looks a little sketchy because that is a big drop off there. Haha, fun. So I already made it to the Paradise Valley Cafe, and I had my delicious burger and fries and 2 Dr. Peppers. Anyway, famous landmark, here I am. Yeah, this is where I stayed last night. Kind of pricey, but I really wanted a bed and a shower. A quiet morning this morning here in Idlewild. It's kind of a pretty place. You got some cool tall trees. And back there's where I stayed, the Bluebird Cottage Inn. Now I'm road walking a ways, I don't know, a quarter mile, half a mile, but I think there's a cafe down here called the Mile High Cafe or something like that. Sounds like Denver, but they got the name, so. Anyway, come on, get French toast this morning. That sounds good. Here's my room that I got in Idlewild. A lot of wood. It's got a little kitchen. I didn't get any wood to build a fire, but I could have had somebody in here if Well, I'm pretty happy with the way my hike's gone so far. I mean, I kind of was gone according to plan. I wanted to start with small miles and increase my strength as I've gone. It's really amazing to me that a person older like me can hike a big day, 15 miles, and then recover overnight and feel good the next day. So I find myself, being able to handle those long climbs and feeling strong. My backpack no longer feels so heavy and all that. It's been, fun meeting people from all over the world and just generally showing myself that I can do more than I thought I could. But anyway, I really believe that I could put in some big miles and hike a lot of this trail. But the mental thing is the thing. I put in one of those big days, a 15-mile day, thinking, well, maybe I can do a 20 and all that. But the days, I mean, it is like looking at the trail, one foot in front of the other. I mean, you're in your head all day long, and I was just thinking, well, I think there's more that I would like to do. I want to visit family. I mean, I think I'm getting off trail here in Idlewild and start trying to figure out the logistics on how to get home. I want to go to Utah maybe in July, and I've actually considered going back to the trail when the snow melts in some of these mountains, and maybe hike across Oregon. I understand that's a nice one, but anyway, just examining my options. But for now, I've decided to, in spite of being physically good, I mean, I don't have a single injury. I never got a single blister. I've gotten so strong that to climb those, I'm not fast, but to climb those big elevation gains and handle them and feel good. I've done all that, but like I say, just the thoughts of that one foot in front of the other for another 5 or 6 months, just, I came on this hike because it's something that I wanted to do, and I'm going to stop it right now because that's something that I want to do. But anyway, thanks for everybody's support, and I guess that's all for now.